Hello and welcome to this very special Instagram Live Q&A with the 7-time Paralympic wheelchair racing champion and Commonwealth Games gold medal hopeful Hannah Cockroft, who Irwin Mitchell are proud to call our ambassador. My name's Katherine East and I am a solicitor specialising in commercial dispute resolution. I sit within our sports sector team. I'll be asking Hannah today all about her preparation and hope for the Games and what she thinks lies ahead for the future of her sport, as well as what she's looking forward to most about visiting Birmingham, the city that I've called home for some time now. As the next couple of weeks are going to be hugely critical for Hannah, we're so grateful to her for taking time out of her busy schedule to speak to us today. If you have any questions for Hannah, please do pop them in the comments and I'll read them out. But without any further ado, I will bring in Hannah. Hi, Hannah.
Hello, sorry about that. Literally, my doorbell went off just as you sent the invite. So,
Thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Yes, I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Where are you joining us from?
Actually, at home for once. Literally doing my last bits of packing before we head to the Commonwealth Games tomorrow. So, I am surrounded by suitcases and bits of kit and all sorts. Hopefully, I'm conveniently blocking it all with my body. I hope.
Yeah, no, you look very well, thank you very much. It sounds like it's really busy for you, so thank you for joining us. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'll crack on with some questions, and if anybody has any, please pop them in the comments. Otherwise, I'll just ask all the lots of questions I've got, because you've had such a fascinating career. So obviously, we're only a couple of weeks away now, less than a couple of weeks away now. How are you feeling?
Yeah, so literally a week today is my race, 100 meters, T34 100 meters. You know what? I'm really, really looking forward to it. I have always wanted to compete at a Commonwealth Games and never had the opportunity to. So the Birmingham Games will be my first ever Commonwealth Games. When you're 15 years into a career, you don't really get many debuts anymore. So I'm literally grabbing it with both hands and going for it. I'm nervous. It's going to be a really tough race. I think my race is probably the only one where the gold, silver, and bronze medalists from the Tokyo Paralympics will be present and lining up. So I literally have a repeat of last year all over again. But I'm pushing well. I pushed a world lead time a couple of weeks ago, a new PB. Unfortunately, it couldn't stand as a world record because the competition that I competed in was not ratified by the International Paralympic Committee. So they can't put it on their official forms and whatever. But yeah, pushing really well and feeling really good. So yeah, see how it goes.
I know Birmingham isn't your home city, but does it feel different competing on home soil?
Yeah, it's a home games. You know, it's in England and it's closer to home than London was, so it's the closest to home I think I'll ever get an international championships. And you know what? There's nothing like competing in front of a home crowd. You know, the atmosphere and the support and just the noise that we get from a British crowd is second to none. You know, nowhere in the world that I've competed yet has been able to beat it or top it. And I'm really just looking for those same vibes that London 2012 gave, and looking forward to that.
Well, we'll all definitely be there cheering you on.
Thank you.
So how long have you been training for this? Because obviously you just said you've competed in the last couple of weeks. I think you have to have a bit of a break, don't you, in between competitions? So how has your training worked up to this?
I don't have too much of a break. I had a big competition in Switzerland end of May. So I had the first week of June off where I went to Disneyland, which was very, very nice. But you know what? Like we've been building up to this since the end of Tokyo. So the end of when was Tokyo? September last year. This has been kind of the next aim that whole time. And it has been a little bit different for me actually because I'm only racing the 100 meters at the Commonwealth Games. Normally I race the 100 and the 800. So I've taken all distance training out of my training. I'm literally just a sprinter and I can't believe how different it is and how different I feel just sprinting all the time. So it has been a different build up. But yeah, I think, like I said, I competed a couple of weeks ago and we just threw that in amongst training. So sometimes we just do training runs where we go to an event in Britain somewhere and just see how we're going, even if we're not fresh. So the fact that I'd trained all week and still managed to push a world lead in time was really positive. Obviously I'm in the tapering phase now, so training's getting lighter and lighter. Just done my last gym session this morning, so I'll have a week off gym now, which is a little treat. And hopefully I'll just feel more and more awake and more refreshed every single day is the plan. But kind of building into this, the season's been very similar to how it normally is. The season started back in March out in Dubai. I raced in Dubai twice. I then came home and raced in Stoke Mandeville, I think. And I raced in Coventry, and then we went out to Switzerland and raced out there. And then since then, I've had the British Championships, and I've also had the Diamond League in Birmingham. So I've raced at the Alexander Stadium already. One of the only people to be able to do that. And then literally raced in Stoke Mandeville a couple of weeks ago. So it's been a long, drawn out season. Looking forward to a break at the end of it, but it's been really, really good fun, and there's been really good positive results coming out of it.
So what will the next week look like for you? Are you going to go watch any of the other games, or?
Yeah, probably won't be allowed, to be fair. Normally you're quite locked down leading into a competition. So I head to the holding camp tomorrow, which is at Loughborough University. So I'll be there until Saturday. And then Saturday, my 30th birthday, what a treat. I'll move to the Commonwealth Games village. So apparently my birthday will be spent doing COVID tests in the NEC that take about 6 hours. So I'm absolutely buzzing for that. And then I'll literally probably have a day off on Sunday or an easy roll, a really, really light session. And then Monday will be a race warm-up. So again, probably a 20-minute training session. And then I'll race Tuesday. I race at like 10 to 10 at night, which is not my ideal time, but that's fine. And the rest of it, I'll literally just be chilling. It's great. I can't wait.
So much prep, and then just before it all, just calms down for a while.
It does. It's the same for every championships. Once you get there, there's nothing else you can do. You know, you can't change your training. You can't catch up on any training that you've missed. And you're kind of taken away from that home environment. So if I was at home, I'd be like, oh, I need to paint a wall or paint a fence or tidy something or go and visit someone. So when they take you, happy birthday, by the way, to the person who just put a message. They just take you out of that environment and kind of make you just chill, make you just focus on your competition, make sure you're rested, make sure you're eating well. So we get all our meals provided. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not really a sitting around like just chilling kind of person, so it'll be quite nice. I'm sure I'll fill my time with something. I'll find something unimportant to do.
Take a book or something.
Absolutely.
Reading time. Oh, that's exciting. So this is your first Commonwealth Games. Are you looking forward to it, in like the fact that it's going to be different? You're only doing the 100 meters, or do you feel like it's going to be really different for you?
I am looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. Just getting on that stage, getting on that start line in front of hopefully a really big crowd. I think most of the tickets have been sold. We obviously had no crowd out in Tokyo, so it's going to feel amazing to be back in front of people. I think I am going to find it strange just having the one race. You know, normally it's one race and then you kind of switch your focus and concentrate on the next one that's coming up, and you'll have heats and you'll have finals. This Commonwealth Games is a little different in how they've selected who's going to compete. So top 8 in the Commonwealth were invited, which basically means just straight finals. And yeah, you only get one race. So it is going to be different. But you know what? I'm just looking forward to getting my competition out of the way and going and supporting the rest of the team and watching as many sports as I possibly can. And yeah, just soaking up that side of it. Normally, at major championships, I've got my first race like the first day and my last race the last day, so I have no time in between to go out and enjoy it. So it's going to be really, really different, and I'm looking forward to that opportunity, I guess.
Are you going to do anything to actually celebrate your 30th after it?
I mean, I hope so. I haven't actually planned anything yet. I'm really bad at looking anywhere beyond the race. But yeah, I would like to go on holiday at some point, and I would like to have a party, and yeah, I'm definitely going to do something. I just don't know what.
Like a shout out to everyone watching. Somebody organise Hannah a surprise party, please.
Yes, please do.
So next question. I don't think we've had any in the comments other than someone wishing you a happy birthday, which is kind of them. So I'll just carry on with all the ones I've got. So you set a new world record at the Tokyo Paralympics. And I think what you were just saying a second ago is that you've set an unofficial other world challenge. You're just smashing records left, right, and centre. It's very impressive. So I was going to ask if you think you're better at Birmingham, but it feels like it's definitely on the card.
You know what? A lot of it comes down to the track. So Tokyo, every Paralympics and Olympic Games have to be held on a track it's called a Mondo. So it's really firm track, which our wheels roll really well on. the same rules not in place for the Commonwealth Games. So unfortunately, it means the track won't be as good. The track that I set the world lead on was also a Mondo, so a really, really fast track. It was like a perfect day. There was not much wind. It was sunny. It was hot. If the weather's anything like it is at the moment, it's not going to be perfect conditions, especially at 10 to 10 at night. But you know what? You never know what's going to happen when you get that adrenaline, you get on that start line, you've got that competition. It really does just fire you up and push you through. So maybe we'll see something amazing. Maybe we won't. I always enter a competition just aiming for the medals. So, one of my coaches once told me that everyone remembers medals, no one remembers times. And it's so true. Aside from Usain Bolt's world record, we can't actually name anyone else's winning times. So yeah, as long as I win the race, that's the main aim. And if a world record comes with it, that's amazing. But I'm not making it, my focus.
Fair enough. No, yeah, I think that's a very sensible way to think about it. I really hope you do so. So how much are you looking forward to getting to know Birmingham? It sounds like before your race you won't get to do very much, but potentially afterwards you might have some time. Is there anything you're planning to do while you're here?
You know what? If anyone's got any recommendations, let me know. But I just wanna go shopping, to be honest. I went to university in Coventry, and we always used to leave Coventry and go to Birmingham on the train and do our shopping. So yeah, I want to go out, want to visit the biggest Primark in the world. Sounds amazing. And yeah, you know what? Just because the Commonwealth Games on, I just want to get around as many sports as possible. So 3-on-3 wheelchair basketball is having its debut at this Games. I've never been to watch competitive swimming, so I'd love to go and watch that. You know what? There's just going to be so much that I think I'm going to have a very busy 2 weeks, even if I'm not competing.
It's going to be, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be so nice to just to have such a difference to the COVID world that we had of just nobody around, and then suddenly we're just going to have half the world descend on Birmingham, and I think it's going to be wonderful chaos.
I hope so. I hope everyone comes and they have an amazing games, and yeah, they enjoy what our country have to offer. Because
I think tickets are good, so hopefully.
I hope so. Yeah, my brother's already there. He's working for Team Scotland, and he said it's such a buzz and such an atmosphere already. So that can only build as the competition starts and we start to see more and more athletes enter the village. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Please tell me he still cheers you on, even though he's Team Scotland.
Yeah, luckily I haven't got any Scottish athletes in my race, so I believe he's got the evening off for my competition as well, which will be quite nice knowing that my older brother's flown in from Finland. It's the first time he'll see me compete since London 2012, and his girlfriend's never seen me race. So it'll be nice to know that they're all together in the stands somewhere, hopefully enjoying what I'm doing.
Oh, that's so nice. It's so nice to have everyone. No one's seen each other for years. Like, just feels so strange. Okay, so next question. I still don't think we've had any from viewers. So my next question is, what's the biggest change or opportunity for athletics in the next 12 months?
You know what? I think the Commonwealth Games is the only competition, international major competition, which is integrated. So it means that the para athletes get to compete alongside the able-bodied athletes, and our competitions run at the same time, which is totally unique to the Commonwealth Games. And honestly, I'd like to see that extend outside of this. I'd like to see, more para involvement in the Diamond Leagues, in things like the British Championships, just in more able-bodied competitions, because, the more we can actually get out there and compete, the more we can build our audiences, get more people watching parasport, but also hopefully joining in and getting involved. And I really hope that, there might be some kids or even some older people come along and watch Birmingham or watch it on the TV and see what we do. And we kind of have that London 2012 legacy all over again. People watch it and go, yeah, I want to try that. I think I'd be good at that. And the girl that you'll see me line up against, my English teammate Carrie Denigan, she watched me at London 2012 and then came out in Rio, and I think she won a silver and 2 bronzes or something. So it just goes to show there's loads and loads of talent just sat on the sofa at home, not realising what's actually available for them. And I hope that Birmingham kind of shows them, this is there, we're getting more and more opportunities and we need to grab them. So yeah, I hope it gives people inspiration and makes them want to take up some sport.
Ah, that's such a nice way to think. And yeah, I agree. We've had a question from a viewer. They just want to know what your career highlight is so far.
Wow, straight in with the hard questions. Career highlight. Wow,
Amazing things you've done. What is the number one?
so hard. I think. Oh, I don't know. Obviously London 2012, absolute career highlight. If you gave me any time in my life again, that would be the time that I would go back to. Just the whole thing, not even the winning moments, just the whole experience of being there and just everyone supporting parasport was absolutely incredible to be a part of. I think that's probably my career highlight so far. But I mean, there's been a lot of amazing moments. I mean, outside of sport, career highlight meeting McFly, absolutely. So
Epic. When did you get to meet McFly?
I've met him quite a few times. I met them just after London 2012. And I've met him about 5 or 6 times since then. So, yeah, career highlight.
I'm a year you, so I know that what McFly meant to us as children.
But what do you mean meant? Still does mean. Absolute biggest fan here. So,
we've had a question from a viewer. They would like to know what advice you'd have for up and coming athletes.
Oh, that's a really good question. I think that, you know what, my advice would just be don't tie yourself down to one sport straight away. You know, go out there. There's some amazing sports. I did wheelchair basketball. I did wheelchair rugby. I tried wheelchair tennis. I did seated discus. I did loads of things before I started wheelchair racing. So just go out and explore and say yes to every opportunity that you actually get offered. Because it's amazing. You might think that you're going to be really good at one, and then you pick up another and you're actually better at it, or you enjoy it more. And ultimately, go with the one that you enjoy the most, because passion is what makes you successful, nothing else. You know, if you don't want to get up in the morning and do it, then you're not going to do it. And I still, 15 years on, absolutely love what I do. I love getting up and challenging myself on the track and seeing how fast I can go. So yeah, choose the one that you enjoy and try absolutely everything, because there's a sport out there for everyone.
That's really great advice. What do you think life after athletics has for you? Another sport? Do you think coaching?
Oh, so I have just done my coaching license. So I am now coaching a junior athlete. She's 16 and yeah, she's doing really well. So that's quite cool. It was never part of the plan. It just happened. Life, I don't know. I kind of hope I've still got a few years in sports, to be totally honest. I'd like to at least get to Paris and maybe one more after that. But I'd like to move into media work. So I'd love to work in television, maybe a bit of commentary, or I've no idea, a bit of reporting. And if none of that, I don't think I'll ever leave the sport. I think that if you didn't see me do any of that, I'd probably be somewhere working for British Athletics or England Athletics. Yeah, making sure that they do what we want them to do.
Me happy, because then you'd be in Birmingham, so you'd be with us. We've had a question from a viewer that just wants to know how you stay motivated in between competitions.
That's a good question. To be honest, the motivation, you kind of can't rely on motivation. I definitely am not motivated every day. I wake up a lot of days and I'm like, oh, you know what, I can't be bothered. I don't want to do this. But a lot of it is just routine and it's habit. So a lot of my motivation comes from, I train with a group, how many days a week? 3 days a week. And I train with a coach 5 days a week. So making yourself accountable and making sure that you've got people to go and meet makes you do it. But motivation just, it comes in its own form. You know, if I do well in a race, then my motivation is to either do better or to make sure that I can at least equal that the next time I race. And if I don't do well in a race, then the motivation is really obvious. It's to go and do actually better in the next one. So yeah, it kind of just shows itself in lots of different ways. And again, a massive motivation is enjoyment, just going out and meeting your friends and having a push. I enjoy it, so that motivates me to go and get it done.
Have you made lots of friends through athletics?
Yeah, I think, yeah, my majority of my friends are from athletics. My fiance is an athlete. He's a wheelchair racer as well. Most of my best friends are in athletics. And, you know, it's really nice. We get to travel the world together. We get to go to all these competitions. We're there for each other's highest moments and lowest moments, and as well being surrounded by people who understand what you're trying to do and what you're going through to do that is really, really important and special as well. So yeah, count myself quite lucky that I've got amazing teammates.
Ah, like a family. That's so nice. We've had another question come in, which is, what's the best place you've travelled to through sport? You can go
really hard. I think my favourite country I've travelled to through sport was New Zealand. My first World Championships were out in New Zealand in Christchurch in 2011. I absolutely loved that. It was just an amazing place to have my first ever championships. But I get to travel loads. I'm really, really lucky. I've spent every January for the last 10 years in either Australia or Dubai. So that's quite a nice way to spend the winter.
Yeah.
And I do really like going to those places. And you know what? Rio was beautiful. It was really, really beautiful. I would love to go back and see more of Brazil because it was a stunning place. So yeah, I'm really lucky. I've seen some amazing places.
I'd like to go to New Zealand.
I recommend it.
I've heard that you can just, you can be on the beach and then the next day you can be like snowboarding or skiing. That sounds really good.
Pretty much, yeah.
We've had, what's the best thing about competing in athletics? And another one says, what are some of the things you do to keep calm before a big race?
Okay, best thing about competing in athletics is freedom. It's being outside and just getting to go around that track. And I think knowing that whatever achievement you get, it's down to you. We all talk about the teams behind us, and I have a whole village behind me. I have so many people who support everything that I do, Irwin Mitchell being one of them. But ultimately, when you're out on that track, you're the one making the chair go fast and setting the time. So for me, that sense of achievement is the best thing about athletics. You have nobody else to thank but yourself, and at the same time, you have no one else to blame but yourself if it all doesn't go right. So I like that sense of control, I guess, and independence. Some of the things I do to keep calm before a race, I listen to music quite a lot.
McFly?
Always McFly, of course. If talking about like in call room, I find call room a really interesting place to be because a lot of athletes go in, they sit in silence and they don't look at each other, and yeah, they're just like very much in their own bubble. Whereas I go into call room and I'll talk to anybody who will listen to me, and I'll eat sweets and I'll do my hair and I'll do some stretching, and I'll literally just myself the whole time, because some call rooms can be really, really long. In Tokyo we were sat in call room for 45 minutes, so that's a long time to sit there and stress out about the race that's coming up. So I figure I may as well use a bit of the time to make some friends and have a nice time.
That's nice. I think someone also wants to know, is the best thing about being in athletics the same thing as best thing about being an athlete generally?
You know what? No, I think it's different, because obviously if you are an athlete in team sports, then it's not really that independent performance that you rely on. It's the performance of the team, and I guess probably being surrounded by your teammates and the people that you love. I think the best thing about being a sports person generally is probably just the experiences that we get. I think people would pay a lot of money to travel as much as we do, and I can only imagine, like, one of the questions I get asked the most is, what was it like being in the middle of 80,000 people cheering and screaming at you at London 2012? And we as athletes are the only people that are ever going to be able to know what that feels like at any games, at any major championships. And I think, it's one of those things that, we'll never be able to put into words, because it is amazing. And I think just those opportunities and those experiences are what makes being a sports person the best thing. The fact that we get to do something every once a year or once every 4 years that people literally would love to do, and it's a very small handful of us that get to do it. So I feel very lucky that I get to do that.
Once every 4 years you basically get to be like a massive rock star.
It's quite cool. I really like going to concerts. That's one of the things that I do probably the most outside of training, and I always sit there, and you know when the crowd is all singing the lyrics back to the band on the stage, I always sit and think that must be just the most incredible feeling in the world. And then I imagine probably people think that about us, you know, when we're sat on that start line and people are cheering, people probably think, oh, I bet that's the most amazing. I bet it's the same feeling. So I'll never know because I'll never write a song and have thousands of millions of people sing it back to me. But, or I might do, but I don't plan to.
It's athletics career. We'll find out that you've been touring with McFly.
That'd be amazing if they're watching and they want to take me on tour. Then I'm available anytime.
Recording of this or at them, be like, guys, help us out. Right, I'm very conscious though. I've had you for half an hour and I don't want to take up too much more of your time. So I think just to wrap it up, is there anything you'd like to say to your fans before you head off to the games?
I just want to say a massive thank you. You know, it's been a long 15 years, and a lot of people have been supporting me, especially for the last 10 since London 2012. So thank you for sticking around through, you know, some not so great performances and some really, really amazing ones. And I hope you all get your tickets. I'm competing on the evening session of the 2nd of August, so literally a week today. And I think there are still tickets available. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy what we do, and I hope you enjoy the whole games. And yeah, stick around for what's next because I'm not done yet.
Thank you so much, Hannah, for joining us. It's been wonderful. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope our viewers have too. And huge good luck from all of us for next week. We'll all be cheering you on.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you, Mitchell, for your support.
Thanks, Hannah. Bye now.
Bye.